What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more punk rock, and indeed, just a quick bit of housekeeping. I do have access to my old channel again. I'm going to continue putting everything on my main channel that I've been running for a long time, but I think I'm going to keep uploading videos to my new channel where you may be watching this, and indeed, I think I'm going to focus putting non-techno reactions on that page, punk rock, jazz, hip-hop, classical music, because in the week that I was running that other channel, the videos that got much more interaction were like the regular music videos. So again, I'm going to put everything on my main channel, but I think I will still continue to water that secondary channel occasionally, mostly with reactions like this one. So we're going to listen to a tune by a band called Naked Aggression, sort of, very like intense kind of anarchist band. They were around from the early 90s. They made like 3 proper studio albums. I have the first one called Bitter Youth. They had released like a cassette tape, I think, on their own, like before that. And then they eventually released 2 more albums. One is like March Along, and then one is, what is it called? Gut Ringing Machine. And then right around the late 90s, early 2000s, I don't remember exactly when, but the guitarist, Phil Sucamel, passed away, unfortunately, and he, I think, was the partner of the lead singer, Kirsten Patches, and so the band Naked Aggression ceased to be. Years later, I don't know if, so this is the album Bitter Youth, I don't know if you can see it or if it's just off camera. Up there, I think you can maybe see it in the top left, like, of the inner layer, there's Meet the Virus, which is a later version. Kirsten Patches, again on Vox, I think 1 or 2 of the same other backing musicians, but without Phil Sucamel, they came back as Meet the Virus, and that album is fucking fantastic. Like, I'm definitely going to react to a Meet the Virus song soon. But again, I did want to start with Naked Aggression. And I was actually thinking about this album recently, just things that are going on in the world, and, governments of different countries talking about, their destructive capacity and their willingness to, to go there, so to speak. And again, countries in different continents can all be guilty of that and are all guilty of that, even if some at any particular moment are acting more, recklessly with their saber rattling and so on. But I was thinking about a tune called Time Bomb. It's the final tune on this album, and it sort of, provides a stark warning or, a dystopian hypothetical about what happens when, people keen to pursue nationalist interest fail to realize the international implications of what they might unleash or set into motion. And again, in recent times, I've just been thinking about things like that a lot, so it felt like an appropriate time to react to this tune. So here we go. As I mentioned, the front album art is over there, so I can't really show it to you, but I'll show you the back of the CD. Again, we're going to listen to the tune Time Bomb, but this is from 1993. This is almost 30 years old. This is an album that's, it's not that early gritty 80s punk, but I do think it is in that, the same ethos and the same vein as sort of like early 80s anarcho-punk. So again, shout out to Naked Aggression, shout out to Kirsten Patches, really love her voice, and you can tell she feels a lot of the lyrics passionately. I love that. And R.I.P. Phil Sucamel. He also, by the way, produced this record along with Damian Rasmussen. It says produced by Damian Rasmussen and Phil Sucamel, so shout out to him producing as well. This is on Broken Records. So here we go. This is Time Bomb on Naked Aggression's first studio album, Bitter Youth. It starts with a sample, and again, a sort of dark, old school news sort of broadcast sample.
In August of 1945, the city of Hiroshima was destroyed in about 9 seconds by a single atomic bomb.
Largely civilian population.
There have been more than 1,200 nuclear explosions on the face of the Earth. The largest has 4,000 times the force of the bomb that leveled Hiroshima.
obvious reasons, and we all reap the consequences. And yes, material ones too. And all. Yeah, it's an incredible tune. Sort of made me emotional at the end. But I really like the contrast of the sort of like, you know, the dramatic sort of austere opening and then the driving choruses and then that last part, which is, you know, really drives home the importance and potentially the poignancy of, you know, the stupidity of, you know, leaders presuming to speak for everyone, even if they're not, you know, popularly supported and so on, marching people into imperial destruction and death, which can then spiral into global conflicts, which ultimately, you know, destroy lives and livelihoods in equal measure. At a time in the world when it feels like people have not remembered the lessons that, you know, as a historian, I feel like have been taught again and again and again, and, you know, frustratingly not heeded. Indeed, it feels like they're not being heeded again. So it felt like this might be a good time to react to this track. Let me know if you're a fan of the band. Again, I don't have, I think, you know, the very early like Napster days or whatever. I think I may have downloaded a couple other songs, because I have a couple songs on my computer from them that aren't from this album, and I don't remember where they came from. That may be the case. If so, I do apologize. You know, it was like a new thing when that came out, and it was like, oh wait, we can like download stuff and whatever. I was like, oh shit, but right, they're not getting royalties, so, you know. I try to be responsible once I sort of, you know, sort of realize what the terrain of what we were dealing with was or whatever. But again, I have heard a couple other songs from their other two albums, and I really do enjoy them. So perhaps I'll, you know, splurge and make the purchase and try to get a couple copies of at least the CDs of their other albums. As I said though, whether or not I'm able to do that soon, I'm going to come back for, if not another song on this album, because this is a great album. There's lots of songs that really kind of capture that, like, the, you know, passion and the, like, sort of unwillingness to, like, yield to sort of, you know, traditional forces. It really comes across. So that, again, the name Bitter Youth, it really fits. But again, whether or not I react to one of those soon, I'm definitely going to react to a Meet the Virus tune soon, because there's at least a couple that I think need to be heard. So again, shout out to Kirsten Patches. Really a big fan of her singing and her voice, and I really think it came across powerfully in the last part of this song here. Again, it sort of made me emotional the way she came in over the top. Again, you know, along with the nuclear winter descending on the planet and so on. So shout out to her. R.I.P. to Phil Sukumel, and big ups to Naked Aggression back in the day. So let me know if you enjoyed. Really enjoying doing these punk rock reactions. I know there's at least a few people that have commented on some of the Propaganda ones or whatever. So again, let me know if this band, whether you see it back here or, you know, if you've seen my Discogs collection under the name Mr. Tom Servo, it's publicly visible. And you could just go through the punk rock folder, and, you know, if you see something that is interesting to you, let me know. Other than that, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Have a good night. I'll see you next time. Peace.